Hi guys, my name is Audra Kamina, and on my channel, I'm going to show you how to make historical garments, showing off some of the past projects that I've already made, and breaking down historical fashion trends. As you can see, my mannequin is currently modeling a pair of 18th century pocket hoops, or paniers, and these were my very first project. Before I wanted to get started, I had to make sure that I would nail the silhouette, and that did not necessarily go as planned, considering that the thread is bright blue instead of white as I wanted, because I didn't realize that I had actually sewed it inside out. The frayed edges of the little boning channels are also visible on the outside, again due to it being inside out, but it does the job. It holds the skirt out, and ultimately it gives the shape that I wanted, and that's all that really matters. Now I've added the pink satin skirt on top of the pocket hoops, and this was made out of about 8 yards of fabric. It took me about 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know, it took me a lot longer than it should have because I kept on threading all the gathers and then letting them go and not realizing why they weren't staying because I forgot to knot it, and then it would all come undone. I'm still very traumatized from that experience. But there is a lot of gathers all around the front and the back. Oh, sorry, the sides and the back. And it's actually left quite flat at the front in order for these lovely little ruffles to shine. So here you can see that I actually did leave a slit. It's a split skirt and there's a slit in the pocket hoops as well underneath, so you can stick your hands in it. And they are pocket holes. They are meant for historical pocket bags to go around your waist as the first innermost layer. But because I am just so brilliant, I didn't actually make any pockets. And so now I just have this lovely hole to stick my hands into and for wind to make my hips incredibly cold while I'm wearing this. But I am getting on the pockets. I just don't have very much fabric lying around right now. But, you know, that's the dream, isn't it? Always a dress with pockets. It was very historically accurate for dresses to have pockets, just built separately. Unfortunately, you know, not built at all in this case, but that's all right. She does the job. And so here we have our completed gown. This is my lovely, lovely bodice. It is made of the exact same pink satin, 1 to 2 yards of it, plus it is lined with another, probably 1.5 yards of cotton or linen, whatever was, oh no, I think it was muslin, because muslin is what the little pocket hoops are made out of. Yes, I'm pretty certain it was muslin. I'll have to take it off and check again when I look. This was my Halloween costume for 2020, so I don't actually really remember. Shockingly, I don't wear this every single day. I think I could, though. It's kind of a look, right? Wonderful. So anyway, this has some 3/4 length sleeves with lovely little lace all around the edge. I also have some lace, the same lace, all around the bottom of my skirt. And the reason for this is because I am actually quite tall, and my hem was too short. So this was an 18th century capri dress until I added the lace, and then everything worked out. So the hem was also quite uneven. So lesson is, if everything looks horrible, just smack some lace on it, and then everything will look beautiful. Or, well, you know, acceptable. And so here I have some brocade that I also got from Joann's, some little bows that I made of the same brocade. You can see that there was clearly a lot of inspiration from Micarah Tewers' Princess Annalise dress, but I am hesitant to say that it is a complete match, not because I didn't think that hers was stunning, but because this is deformed a little bit. I didn't even put ruffles all the way around, or on the sleeves, which I had intended to. But again, I was running out of time, and it did the job. It did the job quite well, actually, for just 2 days of wear. I was intending to wear this to another ball, except, shocker, I couldn't find any 18th century balls near me, which is just a travesty, honestly. I was shocked. I was blindsided, and quite disappointed, honestly. Well, it was 2020, so, you know, Maybe it's just the pandemic that shut down all the balls. I don't know. I can't say that I've been to very many. So this is my gown. Ta-da! Now this was far and away my favorite project ever to both complete and to wear and to look at. I very much enjoy this piece. And that is because it is actually historically accurate. It is based on an 1880s pattern by Simply Victorian, and that is based on real fashion plates and actual patterns from the 1880s. Now this was actually for an 1860s ball gown, but this pattern looked the simplest to attempt, and the shapes didn't change very much. Silhouettes didn't change very much, for corsets at least, between the 1860s and the 1880s. So I thought that we can make a little exception with this one. And so this is boned with some spiral steel, and it is also has a steel busk in the front, so it can clasp in the front instead of having to retie it every time that I wear it. This I do wear under my 18th century French gown, but it was meant for my 19th century ball gown, which I actually reused the same skirt for. Now this is a wedding wedding hoop skirt from Amazon, and it is simply a perfectly round 7 hoop skirt that I purchased off of Amazon, because after making polka hoops, I thought about it and I said never again. So this was quite cheap actually, but if you wanted to buy one in person in order to try it on, you could go to a wedding store or a bridal boutique. They usually have plenty of hoop skirts for their larger gowns. And so this was for my 2021 Halloween costume, and that was to be Miss Christine Daae from the Phantom of the Opera. And I did go with the 2001 movie's Masquerade dress as my gown, and that was mostly because I wanted to be able to reuse the skirt from 2020's Halloween costume. So it was the same color, and I had already made the skirt, so it was a perfect fit. And so here is the new bodice that I made out of scraps left over from my original 18th century gown. This only took about 1.5 yards of fabric, so it was really easy. It does have a little bit amount of boning in it, although I do wear a corset underneath it just to make sure that it lies nice and flat and this point stays pointy. And here I did purchase and follow the Bellamy's pattern for this Masquerade bodice, and it was absolutely fabulous to work with. I would highly recommend it. Although I did stray from the pattern a bit when it came to the little sleeves. I sort of just made a bias tape situation and sewed that on pretty haphazardly. And I also did take some personal liberties with the decorations, mostly because I did not actually have all the time to stone it myself. And so I just bought some nice little lace from Joann's and threw 2 layers of that onto the bodice, and it goes all the way around. I did manage to avoid sewing more sleeves, so I was very happy about that. And I picked up this little rosette also from Joann's, and it was just perfect. It really served me well. The whole costume was a real hit at both of the costume contests that I attended. I did win both of them. Almost was beat by Bob Ross, so that would have been embarrassing. But this gown was really fun to wear, and honestly, it was part of the reason why I started sewing in the first place. I not only felt like a princess and felt like Christine Daae, but I also really felt like I was wearing history. And when I go to things like the Dickens Christmas Fair, all I've ever wanted to do was really feel like I'm wearing history or really a part of history. I really love the idea of historical reenactment, and that's part of the reason why I love history so much, because mixed between museums and archaeological finds and architecture, you can really go out and touch the past. And now I love that because I am able to sew, I can wear the past too. And so I hope this was fun for you to watch and for you to see all of the things that I've made so far, or at least the 2 gowns that I've made so far. And I hope you'll tune in soon when I make my 1940s inspired capelet. And that's going to be my next project. So branching out from the 17th and 18th centuries, and I hope I'll see you there. Bye!